Peyton, how meaningful was it for you guys on the defense to have a game like that end on a defensive play?
I think it's meaningful not only for the defense but as a team, just to show that we got the team's back when we're needed, and it was good to see that the offense had our back as well, and special teams is, in addition. So I think it's important as a team, to have that ability and to show it out on the field like that.
Not only that, but the game probably could have ended on 3rd and 2 if you guys don't get that defensive stop. I mean, the defense seems to be making those critical plays and junctures in a way that maybe wasn't the case in the past.
Yeah, no, I mean we're constantly making steps to get better, and every week we see what this defense can be when we're playing our A game, and I can't say that Saturday was our A game the whole game, but we came up big when we needed it, and that's what matters.
You play right next to Parker Henry. He's had a few starts now. What are you seeing with Parker?
He's a stud. I mean, he works his butt off, and he deserves to play there right now. And he does as much as he can to help this team win, and that's all we can ask for him. And I'm very, very blessed to play next to him.
You guys have obviously must feel like you've improved a lot these last couple of weeks. You excited for the chance to kind of show the home crowd a game that you guys haven't really put together yet at home?
For sure. Yeah, like you say, I mean, we want to put together a full game. We came closer on Saturday with all 3 phases, offense, defense, special teams, but we want to do it in front of our home crowd and put together a game that we haven't been able to put together yet.
When you're going into overtime, as a defense, what are you guys thinking there? Does the mindset change at all versus during regulation?
Not really. I mean, we knew it was going to be a 60-minute fist fight the whole day against Oregon, and every game, every opponent that we face. We emphasize winning the 4th quarter, and overtime is just an extension of that 4th quarter. So really, we just wanted to go into that with the same mindset we had all game. It's gonna be tough, but we just got to keep grinding and keep battling.
Can you take us through from the end of the game till you arrived in Pullman, just what it was like for you guys in terms of even the reaction you had back when you got here, or even in the locker room, things like that?
It was just ecstatic. Everybody was just relieved, happy, just excited to finally see what we can do, and I think a lot of it was the manifestation of showing people, showing everyone that what Washington State can do, I really think that we do some big things here, and so I think this Saturday was definitely a stepping stone towards that direction, and we realized that as a team, and so we're definitely excited about that.
There's been, I guess, maybe a bit of a cloud just around since the Portland State game. Do you feel like the victory kind of helps flush that and really put that behind you?
That game is always it's been behind us for the past couple weeks now. Even as I stand here today, Oregon's behind us. We're on to Oregon State, so there's not much of a cloud. We like showing people what we can do. But at the end of the day, it's on to the next one, win it 1 game at a time.
When you talk about kind of turning the corner as a program, you mentioned it with Oregon State, and that's another step, right, in making sure you guys handle your business this week, coming off of a big win like you had.
Right. Mark of a good program, a great program, is handling your success, and so, obviously having a great win against a great team in Oregon, you got to be able to handle that success, and no matter who you play next, you got to maintain your edge, maintain your standard of play, and keep raising the bar.
What has Coach Grinch meant to you guys so far this year? How has he helped kind of turn things around on that side of the ball?
A lot of it is just fundamentals, just basic thought. Just going out there with the right mindset is key, and that's something I think we lacked last year. And Coach Grinch brings in youth, energy, and and that mindset. It gives us that mindset that, you know, we'll go out there and we're going to run the ball, and, you know, we might not be the most talented, but we're going to out-effort you. And I think that shows, and that's something that we're continuing to improve on.
You guys already forced 8 turnovers, same amount you had last year. What have you seen out of this defense, I guess? Is it just that kind of breeds itself as it continues, or in comparison to last year specifically?
Well, yeah, that's also something that Coach Grinch preaches ever since he got here. He preached turnovers, run the ball with the intent of, you know, creating a turnover. And so just that emphasis alone, as, you know, obviously you could tell with our numbers, but whenever we run the ball, we try to get that ball out. And I think as long as our defense continues to buy into what Coach Grinch has to say, you know, we're going to keep making strides and improving as a defense.
Are turnovers something you can force, or are the higher numbers more a result of just a byproduct of being around the football, being more aggressive, and do they just sort of happen when you're doing the right things?
I mean, the right things can be, you know, stripping at that ball instead of just letting the guy go down. It's also lots of effort. The more guys to the ball, you know, there's a better chance of getting that ball out. And just the mindset that, you know, if I'm a corner or safety, and then they're passing me, or they're passing, you know, that ball is coming to me every play. Even if it's not, you got to have that mindset so that you know you could have that break in the ball that'll get you that pick. And even if the ball's not coming to you, you still got to have that mindset that you're going to get a turnover.
Grinch has also talked about just not letting big games turn into even bigger plays. And Oregon, there are a few instances where maybe you wrap up or something like that, but do you feel like as a whole you guys are doing a better job of bottling up teams a little bit more and not allowing those big plays to become more explosive, I guess?
Yeah, that's definitely an emphasis in any defense, is to limit those explosive plays. But I mean, Coach Grinch, you know, has nailed in us, you know, gaps, leverage, check down rally. Basically, just, you know, do your job, make sure you have the right leverage when you're tackling the ball, so that, you know, you force it to your buddies. And as long as we're running the ball, then, you know, that the ball carrier has nowhere to go. So really, it comes down to our bottom line as a defense is of straight into the ball and with the intention of making a play and playing together, so that, you know, it's never one man against, you know, the ball carrier. It's always all 11 come to the ball.
You looked at any film yet on Oregon State?
Yeah, yep. Just watched some film. They look good. You know, nothing too fancy. I'm looking forward to playing them. From what I have seen, it's a lot like Oregon. You know, the Pac-12 and their offenses. The great thing about the Pac-12 is, especially for us, since we're not playing our offense every week, which is nice. You get to see a lot, kind of the same thing, with different variations, obviously. But no, I'm really excited to play Oregon State this week. With
a new coach, is there any similarities to what you saw last year in this team that you pick up, or is it completely different?
No, there's definitely some similarities. You know, obviously personnel-wise, there's besides their quarterback, lots of familiar faces from last year, but nothing too fancy otherwise.
Any questions on the line for Peyton Pelluer?
Hey, Peyton, something about with the schedule time. When you look at the games that you guys played before, and there were some games where you guys had trouble stopping the run, what do you think it was that really was the key to holding Freeman in check?
I mean, personally, I don't think we held him in check enough, to be honest. I mean, Freeman's a great player, and he'll make those plays. But I think we could have done a better job of everyone being in their gaps, myself included. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's everyone doing their job and attacking him so that he doesn't have that room to run. Because once he gets his feet running, he's tough to stop. So, you know, we had an emphasis of getting him in the backfield, making him tiptoe. And, you know, we did that at times, but at times we didn't. He made us pay for it. And that's a credit to him. But at the end of the day, you know, we held him when we needed to.
And
Peyton, go ahead, Steph.
Oh, the other really real trend from the season is that for a while you guys are playing up and down to the level of your opponents, it seems. Do you think that has stabilized? I mean, because you're going into a game against Oregon State, they're not quite the caliber of Oregon right now. Could this be like a trap game of sorts?
I mean, obviously it has that potential to be, but right now our emphasis and what the coaches told us, it doesn't matter who we play. We're going to go into each game focusing on us, and we got to play to our level, and that's something as players that we have to really start to focus on. The coaches can only do so much and say so much, but it really comes down to us playing to the level that we know we can play at, and right now we know we can play with the best of them. So we just gotta go out there and execute and do what we know best, and that's play Cougar football.
Okay.
Yep. Peyton, Matt Calkins with the Seattle Times. You mentioned that this past win, you showed people what Oregon or what Washington State can do. What else do you think you can show people? What is this team capable of? Down the road.
I think we're capable of a lot of things. Certainly capable of Pac-12, making it to a Pac-12 championship, and like I said, playing with the best of them. As long as we put together a full game, offense, defense, special teams, I think we have the potential to do great things here. And the coaches they gave us the mold or the blueprint, and all it is us players just continuing to buy in and play to the best of our ability and execute our game plans that the coaches give to us.
Peyton, one more for you. Shalom Milani, he's been doing some nice things for you guys recently. Like, when you first met him, what was your first impression of him?
He was my roommate in fall camp in Lewiston, and I thought he was a true freshman for us. I didn't know he was a JUCO transfer, but he's a stud, and I'm thankful he's here with us right now. But yeah, he's a stud. He's been making great plays for us, and I'm excited to see him progress as a player here and my teammate.
Were you surprised when you found out he was a soccer player at first?
Soccer.
He is?
He played on a national team.
Oh, he did? I didn't even know that. So
Okay.
well,
I've been reading the spokesman.
No, that's I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to talk to him about that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions in the room for Peyton?
Yeah, Peyton, have you noticed just since you've been back after a win over Oregon, any sort of increased interest from your classmates or people coming up to you saying great win, anything like that? Anything that kind of indicates maybe it's going to be a fuller house on Saturday?
I mean, yes and no. There's obviously there's gonna be people that'll pat you in the back when you do a good job, but Coach Leach emphasizes that those are the same people that won't pat you on the back when you don't do so well. So he emphasizes focusing on us and just blocking out that outside noise, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who we play in front of. If we can play in front of 5 people or 100,000. At the end of the day, it matters about us and playing to our potential and our standard of play.
Maybe 2 more for Peyton.
Peyton, you and Jeremiah are in the top 5 in the Pac-12 for total tackles. How has the defensive line helped you kind of to create some attack lanes for you guys to get to the backfield?
I can't thank our defensive line enough. I mean, they play so well. They get so much penetration and attack the line of scrimmage so well that it makes my job a lot easier, and mine and Jeremiah's. I mean, they're studs up there. They're big boys, and I think if they keep playing the way they're playing, I'll probably owe them a couple steak dinners or so.
You guys were in tough spots this past weekend in Rutgers as well. Is there something about kind of the DNA of this group that allows you guys to do what it takes in those late game situations that maybe you hadn't had in the past?
Yeah, I mean, I think compared to years past, finishing is definitely something that we've focused on, putting together a complete game. Even if it's the offense struggles in the first half or the defense struggles in the first half, it doesn't matter. I mean, we'll pick each other up and and we'll fight till the end, and you know, we're gonna win that fourth quarter.